Ooga fucking Ooga cunts. Welcome back to the best show on the Snatchcast. We've been gone for a while, but it's time to come back, and we got a hell of a fucking show for you today. Um, we are talking about sex cults. Lots of sexy stuff. Uh, we got sex cults. We got the Nexium sex cult, Jimmy Savile, and what's his name? R. Kelly.
Yeah, R. Kelly. Yeah, he
R.
did
Kelly.
some
No,
things.
it's Robin Williams. I think that's who you're thinking of.
Well, what's your favorite R. Kelly joke, real quick, Schmeckle?
Man, there's so many just based on Trapped in the Closet. Pick one.
Well, why? What do you call a pirate that pees on little girls?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. R. Kelly.
That's terrible. But anyway, you kind of psyched me up for the Nexium shit. Let's start there.
Dude, the Nexium shit is great, but I want to save the Nexium shit for just a little bit because
fair enough.
I mean that's gonna be the closer, dude. I'm telling you.
All right, then let's start with the older example. A man who apparently had no sexual preferences, Jimmy Savile.
Less of a sex cult, more of a one-man sex cult.
Yeah, he didn't need any followers. He was just a very, very prolific rapist.
Prolific.
Prolific. He didn't really come out after he died. Until after he died. And
yeah, from what I understand,
I have a photo to show you guys that will blow your fucking minds.
Of course, you.
Once we get to that point.
But it didn't really, like, it blew up after he died. It's kind of like Harvey Weinstein and Me Too, where...
Except he's not dead.
Right, exactly. But it's like, if Harvey Weinstein had died, like, the week before, and then Me Too came out, like, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There were things happening. There were people talking about the shit happening. It didn't really blow up until about a year after his death.
Right.
Yeah, so...
and then it blew the fuck up.
Explain who exactly Jimmy Savile was.
Okay, Jimmy Savile was a British DJ, television, radio host. He hosted a few shows on BBC, and he was known for being a philanthropist. He raised like tens of $millions of dollars for a whole bunch of charities. He was big into fundraising for charities. He was known for being like this big, a generous person, giving a ton of money out to various different children's charities and that all kinds of other shit. I don't know. It doesn't really say here, but after his death, literally hundreds of people came forward claiming that Jimmy Savile either molested or raped him, and they all leveled sex abuse claims against him, and there was a huge investigations. There's a huge investigations, and it was found that he was one of the most prolific predatory sex offenders of all time.
The dude made a sport of the shit.
Yeah, we're talking like 200 to 450 victims over the course of 60 years.
And with age ranges, I've seen a couple different ones. I've seen 8 to 47, and I've also seen 8
to 75.
Like 75.
God, it wasn't just age though. 5 to 75, fucking women, men, boys, girls. This motherfucker raped everything.
Yeah.
Listen to some of these numbers. Okay, the suspected victims included 28 children under the age of 10, including 10 boys aged as young as 8. A further 63 were girls aged between 13 and 16. Although 16 isn't 16 the age of consent in Britain?
Or
is it 17?
I don't know. I know it's the age of consent some places. I think it is here in Canada actually. Britain, I think it might be 18.
I might have used it. I think it wasn't. Didn't it used to be 16 at least until the what was it? There was that whole Sun debacle with that chick that you know, that big titty chick that said she was gonna be on, or the Page 5 girl as soon as she turned 16 or something like that, and the whole nation was waiting for her to turn 16. Like 3 days after she was 16, she was on Page 5, and everybody lost their, like the other half of the country lost their shit, saying it's pretty much
like
child
British Miley
pornography.
Cyrus.
I don't
know
remember
the whole
this story, but maybe. But I mean, it's 16, but from what I understand, there wasn't consent, right? This guy was a little forceful with his what would you call it? Sexual interactions.
Yeah. Jeez. It says some 214 criminal offenses were recorded, with 34 rapes having been reported across 28 police forces. That's like a multi-state fucking molestation spree. It's like you're wanted across 28 states.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 60 years that he was doing this, right? He had plenty of time to go
he had pretty much his whole life. Yeah.
Robert, tell him some of his accomplishments in life, like his recognized accomplishments before he died.
Oh, let's see.
I'll tell you one thing. The dude was knighted by the Queen.
Yes, he was knighted. He is Sir Jimmy Savile.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. He also had another honorific, didn't he? He had like it was like gentleman. Like, I mean, he had another British honorific attached to him too.
He was the honorary president of the physically handicapped and the able-bodied community. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm impressed.
Physically handicapped is like they struggle with.
He's the king cripple. He was the king cripple.
Honorary president. What the fuck does that mean?
That he was just a puppet. He was a figurehead.
God damn.
The other cripples had the real power. Is there any
chance there were a bunch of crippled kids?
Yeah, the other cripples had the real power. He was just the face of the operation.
Right.
Let's see. He was well known for running marathons, many for the physically handicapped and able-bodied community. Half marathons. Let's see. He cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats in 10 days for the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. He ran in the Scottish People's Marathon, and it was reported he completed the London Marathon when he was 79.
Right, so he was clearly fit well into old age. That's probably why he was able to get away with this for 60 fucking years.
Yeah, he set up 2 charities. He has a Jimmy Savile Stokes Manville Hospital Trust. Set that up in 1981. And he has the Jimmy Savile Charitable Trust in Leeds that he set up in 1984.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so in 1972, he was appointed an officer of the most excellent order of the British Empire, entitled to append OBE to his name. And then in 1990, he was knighted and given the honorific prefix Sir. So he was Sir Jimmy Savile OBE.
Oh, man. Okay, listen to this. In August 1988, he was appointed by Junior Health Minister Edwina Currie, chair of an interim task force overseeing the stated legal proceedings against news group newspapers after the News of the World published an article in 1988 suggesting he had been in a position to secure the release of patients from Broadmoor who were considered dangerous. Savile won in 1989. The news group paid his legal costs and he received an apology. In 2012, after his death, it was reported that Savile had sexually reported abused vulnerable patients at the hospitals. So they were trying to get him on this thing. They couldn't nail him on this thing, but they didn't even fucking get him on the real bad shit. that he was doing until after he died. That's when it came out. He was like molesting patients at the hospital.
Well, and there were allegations while it was happening. He actually went after some of the accusers. He went after them, I guess, for discrimination or whatever he'd be able to get them for. He seems like he was a pretty successful, well-respected British man.
Yeah, and that's not even counting his DJ, his radio DJ. He was like one of the top Britain DJs in the 60s, and his television career, which was fairly pretty extensive as well.
Yeah, that's probably why a lot of these accusations were just brushed aside.
He is one of the most famous people. He's like Howard Stern, but more successful. You know, started off as Howard Stern and then turned into Bill Cosby or some other famous person from television. I mean, Bill Cosby's an apt description.
He also, I just found out, he wasn't just knighted by the Queen. He was also given a papal knighthood by Pope John Paul II.
God damn.
Jesus.
He was awarded an honorary Green Beret by the Royal Marines. He had an honorary doctorate of law from the University of Leeds, an honorary doctorate from the University of Bedfordshire. He had.
And are we sure he raped all these people? Are we sure he raped all these people? That many fucking organizations can't be wrong.
Right? It's God.
I mean, this motherfucker was handed every fucking honor possible. Meanwhile, he was out sexually abusing patients.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this guy's not even the self-professed genius. Like,
no.
This guy's got nothing on the other guy.
Oh my god. Yeah, this guy Savile was crazy. There was some more.
What I wanted to say real quick is so he did die in October in 2011, and he has a massive gravestone befitting somebody of his stature as his stature was when he died, you know, just like this massive gravestone. It's on my screen right now, if you want to pop it up. And it tells that he's a philanthropist, TV presenter, DJ, marathon runner, cyclist, wrestler, chieftain of Lockhaver, Highland Games, friend and supporter of Stokes Manville Spinal Injuries Unit, Leeds General Infirmary, Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital, Little Sisters of the Poor, the Royal Marines, and many others. And the quote at the bottom: "It was good while it lasted." Takes on the most twisted fucking meaning when put into context after he died. What was going through his head when he made that?
That's a hell of a lot darker in hindsight.
I know. It's so fucked up in
Holy
hindsight.
Fuck.
I had to show that gravestone. I was just like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
This guy's one of the, I guess, first big examples of what we see with the sex cults, right? Like he did it all on his own, but the way he got away with it, right? It was under wraps.
That quote might as well be, "I had fun diddling your children while I could."
Somebody please quote that.
I'd just like to start by saying, fuck you, Robert, for that super chat earlier, you piece of shit.
Oh, Alex, you know, I love you the most. That's why I give you shit.
Yay, what's up, Bear?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing,
Schmeckle?
So, what is your relationship with Jimmy Savile, Bear?
Savile is how it's pronounced.
Savile.
A drunken uncle is currently in the position to set up the Jimmy Savile's Children's Hospital. Which was a fun, one of his stream goals anyway. A bit of a giggle. Guy was a fucking pedo, mate. Worked for the BBC. You know, it's that kind of that kind of cover up bullshit.
He was just like a household name, right? Everybody.
Oh yeah. Like he was a
famous guy.
It wasn't just that. The guy was a children's entertainer.
A children's entertainer.
Yeah, he used to do this fucking
bet he was.
program. He used to do. I can't remember what the fucking program was called. It was like making like children's dreams come true. It wasn't like a make a wish foundation kind of thing. It was just like, our children would send in like make this idea in their head real, and he would try to do that or whatever. And yeah, well, big
That's
fucking
actually kind of a cool premise for a show.
yeah, and it was a pedophile running it.
I know.
Hey, it was like a quid pro quo type thing. He'd make their wish come true, and they'd do the same for him.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, he died, and then that's when the shit came out, and then they ended up kind of like destroying his tombstone and stuff as well. It was a bit of a shock for the nation.
They did take out the tombstone because that thing is fucking terrifying. In hindsight, that tombstone is terrifying in hindsight.
Right?
Yeah,
Well,
It doesn't say, "Are you not entertained?"
It could have been worse. It could have been a stone sculpture of his fucking head, with the big fucking pink pedo glasses as well. So you know,
Is that gravestone still standing?
No.
I'm fairly sure it was destroyed.
Okay.
Mm.
Because
yeah,
I mean,
that'll happen when you find out a beloved celebrity is a massive pedophile.
right?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
just
you
really
guys
fucking
had streets
irritating.
named
Like,
after him and shit, like everything.
yeah, the guy was, you know, pretty much, you know, famous and prolific, and you know, he was looked upon in a positive light, and then we found out it's all a big fucking cover up, and then other people started getting accused. You know, there was Rolf Harris, who was like he was from Australia, but he lived here in the UK. He's been arrested and put in prison for pretty much the same shit. I can't remember exactly what he's in there for, but he was also like a children's entertainer type. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there was more over the years. It's a big kick in the balls, because like it's BBC programs, and as you know, there's a BBC license called a TV license that the majority of the nation pays.
Yeah, you have to pay it if you have a TV, right?
Pretty much, yeah. If you have a TV and it's connected to television, then you kind of have to pay it. I mean, there are ways and means around it. There are loopholes, or you could just like not watch TV, but you can still kind of have a TV. But yeah, they like to throw the threats around if you don't pay it. You see, so yeah, most people don't really know that they can kind of get out of it, but yeah. Paying a pedo's wages.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't the worst child entertainment. The worst child entertainment scandal we've really had in America was Pee Wee Herman jerking off in a porn theater.
What else are you supposed to do at a porn theater?
Yeah, I don't get the purpose of what. You know, nobody just sits there to watch.
Right. It's like if you're going to pay money to go sit down and watch a porn on the big screen and not expect to whip it out, and like all of a sudden cops are there with lights and shit, like, oh, just look at like, it's fine that you're here watching porn, but if your dick's in your hand here in the dark, then we're going to arrest you.
No, I mean, I get it. You can't just jack off in public, but I also don't understand the purpose of the fucking...
Public. You're paying a fee to go sit in a room that the public can't go in without paying the same thing and knowing what they're going to go see.
What if you were just... True. I don't know if porn theaters really exist anymore, but what if you went into one and you're sitting there and then some random guy comes and like you're the only one in the theater and he just comes and sits right next to you.
kind of like that man.
He's like, hey, how you doing?
That would be so funny.
You ever go into the men's room and use the furthest urinal away, then some man comes stands right next to you, even though 20 fucking urinals are empty.
Right, it's like that, but times 1,000. The awkwardness, just like, what the fuck?
You just wanted to sit next to someone. You didn't want to look like you were alone at the theater. That's pathetic. You came to watch some porn with your buddy.
Use the buddy system at the porn theater, everybody.
I'm just thinking,
otherwise you will risk looking pathetic.
But no, we never had, you know, Bozo the Clown never came out as some prolific child rapist. Fucking, Captain Kangaroo never got hit with some crazy ass scandal. America's been pretty
Wait
good
until
about
the year
child
after he
entertainers.
dies. I'm still waiting for shit to come out about Fred Rogers.
Don't you dare say that about Fred Rogers.
Mr. Rogers is a fucking saint.
But it would be.
It's going to come out 10 years from now.
God, imagine if it came out after he died. It's like hundreds of kids. Ugh.
That would be a bad day across North America. That would be a bad day.
He didn't even really have kids.
Not a single person would be able to get that off their mind.
Bozo the Clown had fucking kids on his show. Had a shit ton of kids on his show. But I don't think Mr. Rogers had kids on his show very often.
No, I don't think they were on there often.
And then the Land of Make Believe.
Yeah, he'd occasionally have the guests who he'd talk with a little bit. I remember the one kid that taught him to break dance.
Oh,
that's a heartwarming episode.
Break dance.
I always thought that how people grow up at some point they kind of stop listening to new music and they keep listening to the shit that they listened to growing up. The shit that they're used to, which means that once the next generation hits the old folks' home, we're gonna have a bunch of old geriatric people popping and locking and twerking, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious. I can't wait for that shit. That's all they're gonna know how to dance is like twerking and fucking.
But by the time they get to the geriatric home, you're already dead. You're an old motherfucker.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, they're already old. You're dead.
No, I'm gonna be like they're gonna be coming in right when I'm checking out. So I'm gonna be like a senior when they're freshmen.
It'll be your fucking last moment. The last thing you see.
I'll get twerked. I'll get twerked on my deathbed.
Good way to go out. So anyway, I'm gonna be right back. I need a new coffee. Bear's in charge.
Of course.
Of course he is.
Always. It's the accent. The accent puts him in charge.
More
so Bear, when did Savile die?
Pardon?
When did he die?
October 2011.
It's been fucking 8 years. Well, nearly 8 years.
Dude, so, I mean, this was pretty recent.
Yeah, I remember it quite vividly, actually.
It's like Britain had its own Me Too movement, but instead of, like, men as a whole harassing women, it was just one dude.
Yeah, but this, like, I don't remember this at all anywhere in the news when this was going on.
It took a while to hit, that's why. Because the accusations didn't come out until after he died.
Well, also that, and also I don't know how much they reported on it here in the States.
We obviously America's massive, has way more things going on than what we do, and I don't think you guys cover us that often, do you? I mean, you guys only cover the UK when it's coming to
like they're covering Brexit and stuff. You know, the Brexit debacle and stuff like that here on the news.
The royal family, I'm sure.
You know, the yellow jackets and the yellow vests and shit. But I don't know. So
and the royal family,
and the royal family, and I just don't remember hearing anything about. You'd think this would be all over the fucking American news. And I mean, I could be wrong. I could have just not been paying attention to this, but I don't remember fucking hearing anything like this, anything about this happening.
Like the guy wasn't like the guy was like an old school entertainer. You know, he was well past his time by the time he died.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine many Americans would have known exactly who he is. You know, right. Why are you talking about these people? By the way, like just out of curiosity.
The show is called Cringe of Yesteryear, and so we talk about old cringe stuff, and we just we're bringing up sex cults and like the Hollywood sex cult, the Nexium thing.
Mark, if you could stop looking at me, it's freaking me out. Stop it.
No, I got
so we Robert was like, what about Jimmy Savile? And I was like, I've heard that name before, but
Savile.
What the hell?
Not Savile.
Savile. Sorry. But Robert was like, Google him, and I read like 5 things about him, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, we'll talk about this guy.
I had never heard of him until, like, who introduced me to this guy was fucking Roy from Very Nearly Viral. Was talking about Savile at some point, and I was blown away.
Did he call him a goat?
Actually, I might have something for you guys. Actually, hold on, give me a second.
Did Roy say Savile was a goat?
A goat? What the fuck's a goat?
Greatest of all time.
I don't know. No, I don't think he used the term goat. It's a...
Because I'm fairly sure that one of the Cray brothers, Britain's first gangsters, used to hold gay orgies in his apartment in West London. And a lot of those people were lords and serving MPs at the time. And of course, this would have been back when being gay was illegal.
Well,
how long ago was that?
That the criminals would be throwing the gay
they
party.
were at their height during the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it makes sense if being was illegal that the criminals would be setting that shit up, right?
Well, it's less to do with the gayness and much more to do with the fact that they were serving like members of parliament and lords, sort of sat there, joining in.
Yeah, we have some kind of secret society of elites that, like, one of them fucked a pig or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
What?
You remember that? Some guy had sex with a pig at some secret society meeting.
Was this Rosie O'Donnell's husband?
No.
Oh.
Although that's close.
Get it.
But that's...
I bet I can find it. Googling it.
Yeah, I've never heard anything about that.
Yeah, I know about Richard Gere and the gerbil.
What? How many of your celebrities are fucking animals?
Yeah, Richard Gere shoved a gerbil up his ass.
That's me.
To what end?
Well, why does anybody shove a gerbil up their ass?
You'd have to assume that the gerbil would die.
Somehow, man.
You've got to assume that the fucking gerbil would just die.
Why do I gotta?
How is your asshole loose enough for a... the bear, you like men. Can you explain the rationale that leads to a gerbil up the anus?
At least he went to the hospital before he got the cat involved.
I'm not sure if I want to explain this to people. Obviously, I've not stuck any live animals or dead up my ass before. No, we're not having this conversation.
We're not having this.
He's like, that's all I have to say on the subject.
At least you got the important part out.
I don't know. Your avatar has a pretty suspicious grin on there, Alex.
That's perpetual. You should just...
Yeah, gerbil up the asshole makes no sense to me. Yes, next. Nexium.
Are we doing Nexium next?
I want to hear the Nexium shit. We'll get to R. Kelly at the end. He's the least interesting.
Do you mind if I just quickly read this fun fact about the Cray brothers?
Yes.
Apparently, they were both bisexual. I actually thought that Ronnie was just gay, but Ronnie Cray openly, Reggie less so. The former was rumored to have a sexual relationship with conservative politician Lord Boothby. In fact, he shot George Cornell at the Blind Beggar pub for calling him a fat puff, which is technically true. Although others believe that Ronnie wanted to avenge the death of one of their gang members. Yeah. So those were our most infamous gangsters. And they enjoyed a bit of bumming with the British politicians. So
wait, didn't they recently make a movie about those guys?
Country.
Yeah, there was a movie called
Tom
Legend with Tom Hardy. He played both of them. It's a fucking excellent film.
Okay.
Fucking
excellent. Yeah, that
film.
was a good movie. I didn't know that they were crazy. Well, not you know.
Ronnie was genuinely mentally ill. Genuinely nuts. But yeah.
Mentally ill bisexual criminals. I could see that making a good movie.
Well, Reggie was a bully, is what he was. I don't think he was mentally ill, by the standards of the time anyway.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
Mentally ill brother,
No
and
more
then
fucked up
the
than
leader,
anybody
I
else.
guess.
Yeah,
Right.
Ronnie was a genuine schizophrenic, whereas Reggie was a fairly stable, level guy, kind of. Yeah, fun fact for you.
All right.
So
Okay.
speaking of level guys, let's hear about Nexium, Mark.
Nexium. Okay, well, for those who don't know, because I didn't know much about it, I had just heard like the bare bones details because of Allison Mack, who is an actress. If anybody's watched Smallville, she was Chloe, the blonde-haired chick.
Now, I used to watch the shit out of Smallville, and that was the fucking golden age of CW, man. Every single chick they had on any show was smoking hot, especially Smallville.
True. But so Nexium, technically Nexium is just a private company. It's a business. It's a multi-level marketing business. Which, if anybody knows anything, MLMs are like a complete scam. It's a pyramid scheme, pretty much. You sell to one person, and that one person goes and finds clients and sells to them, and they go find clients and sell to them. And the higher up you are, the more money you make.
Yeah, it's Ponzi shit.
It's Ponzi, yeah, Ponzi bullshit. But so it's a very secret company. Like they have non-disclosure agreements. Like the moment you're hired, you sign a non-disclosure agreement before you do any training. They've sued like the Ross Institute and some other people for they claim copywriting their like some training excerpts and stuff and publishing them. But because I guess they're crazy. The guy who founded this company, Nexium, his name is, I always forget his name.
Rainers or something.
Keith Rainier. Keith Rainier. So this guy is very interesting. He started this company when he was 30, and he's made some very interesting claims. He peddles a shit ton of woo. Like, he's a woo peddler. He's a scam artist.
The fuck is woo?
Yeah, but the dude is incredibly smart.
That
Woo
was
is
an actual
nothing.
question.
Woo is fucking like crystal healing and fucking all that kind of bullshit.
Gotcha. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bullshit artist. And
That makes a lot more sense. You should have just said that.
Right. Well, sorry, figured you knew what woo was.
To be fair, you did say it before the show, and I didn't ask you then. So
right.
Why are you saying that word so often, Mark?
I don't know. I like it. Woo.
You got to quit that.
Woo.
You really got to quit it.
It's
I think
like
you should do it
yeah,
more.
you got to cut down.
All right. Anyway, so this guy.
You have an excellent mustache, by the way, Mark.
Huh?
You have an excellent mustache or or
It is
goatee.
growing in very well.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I work very hard on it.
Mustache.
Mustache. I go to the mustachery. All right.
Now, Rob, show yours.
No, I don't have one. I'm all clean shaven.
That's why you're the ugly twin.
Yeah.
Beards for life. All right. Okay. I want to get this one point out at least before we go off on another fucking tangent, because this guy is in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1989. He took an IQ test and got the third highest score out of anybody in the world. So he's in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1989 for having the person with the highest IQ. Which is an actual thing. Like, this dude is insanely smart. But then he makes a bunch of claims. He says that he was talking by 1 year old. He was walking by 1, talking full sentences by 2. He taught himself high school algebra at the age of 12 in 19 hours. He taught himself, which if you're super smart, I suppose those kind of claims I can believe some of those, you know. But then he says he's so smart that his brain power
You shouldn't believe
the
any of those
electrical
on his word
using
alone.
cars. So he doesn't drive because he'll set off car alarms and shit like that.
All with this brain power.
Yeah. So that guy is very fucking interesting. But
well, he's just so considerate to all the rest of us, you know, not going around setting off all our car alarms all the fucking time.
But doesn't he like walk around town? Wouldn't it still as he passes?
You'd think, but no, he has to be inside.
He has to be inside a car behind the wheel for it to work.
Yes, yeah. That's why he doesn't drive.
Very specific superpower.
All right, so he started his first business was this company called Executive Success Programs, ESP.
That sounds like a pyramid scam.
And that ended up morphing into Nexium. And this company is like super secret. It's in a guarded building that only people like with specific access can get into. They offer all these different classes about like new age health, ESP, like the Executive Success Program, and they cost anywhere from like $5,000 to $25,000 per day. And despite this, people still flock to this guy. Like, this guy is so charismatic that poor people fucking flock to him.
Well, also, like,
for a day of his classes.
If you're charging for like an elite product and charging $25,000 fucking dollars for it, then people who can afford $25,000 are going to think that you're worth $25,000. You know, they.
Well, people are stupid.
Yeah,
people
exactly.
Don't understand money. There's nothing that a bullshit artist should be able to peddle you for that much.
Right.
I don't care if that's fucking pocket money for you, but at the point where you're talking 25 grand, use your fucking head.
All right.
But it gets worse than money.
Some of the people that take his classes and follow what he teaches include, you have Allison Mack and Kristen Kruick from Smallville, but those are like the small timers. You got a former Attorney General of the United States. You have a former children of a former president of Mexico. You got Grace Park, Richard Branson.
No way, really?
Yeah, dude.
Richard Branson,
Cooper, the president of Enron. I mean, very powerful and influential people, dude. And they all follow this dude. So the scandal that happened, how all this stuff came to light, was these women came out in an interview saying that they were taking these classes from Nexium, and they were offered this opportunity to join a group that was going to have a movement to like change the world. Like, we'll get enough people to join it and we can start influencing elections and stuff, like raising money for campaign ads on who we want to win and stuff like that, you know? And that's what they were told. And so one night, these 4 women voluntarily go to this house to join this group that they were invited to, right? When they got there, they said before they allowed them to join, they would all have to strip naked and get pictures taken of them.
And at this point, there should be some red flags.
I mean, yeah, how is that not an instant red flag? But these are
at this point, there should be questions.
Yes, this is like Nancy. This woman, Nancy Salzman. She is the active president of Nexium. So she was there. She's like the head of this group. All right. So they tell them that they have to strip down naked, and they do, because
Because
they're,
obviously,
you know, they've been like brainwashed. They think this is for a good thing, right? And they take pictures of them and they say this is insurance in case, like, if you go public with, like, this is a very secret
if you
thing.
fuck us, we'll release
You're
your
like,
nudes.
now we have fucking dirt on you. Now we got your nude
So
photos.
so this is insurance, so you do not, you know, repeat anything that goes on here. And
You talk to
for
the
some
press,
reason,
we drop the nudes.
right? So then they get told what it is, and what they get told is that, you know, it's like an empowerment movement, and they're gonna change the world and shit. But it's gonna be very secret. Only select few people who are very influential are gonna be part of it, and blah blah blah. And they said, we're gonna give you a They told these women they're gonna give you a tattoo, right? And that'll mark them. And I mean, we're talking secret handshakes. We're talking different robes and sashes that indicate different, like, the hierarchy of this group. Terms like master and slave. In fact, what's his name? Fucking
Another
Rainier
red flag, by the way.
went by the term Vanguard. Like, you had to call him Vanguard. That was like, if you didn't call him Vanguard, you got punished.
I
Of
got
all the
dibs on
titles you
Iceman.
could pick, Vanguard.
Dibs on Iceman. Mark, you
Um,
can be Goose.
dude. Okay, so these women think they lie down on this table and they think they're going to get a tattoo, right? But instead, all of a sudden, their arms and legs are strapped down, and they get branded instead of tattooed. And apparently, the branding took 20 to 30 minutes with a cauterizing.
You gotta make sure you burn down enough layers, right? Otherwise, that shit's gonna peel off.
Yeah,
So-
you gotta make sure
so-
it's fucking permanent. And
So
and
these
tell them
women,
what the brand was. Tell them what the brand was.
Then they're held down and they're given this brand, and they were told the brand was a secret symbol of their organization, but you flip it on its side and it's really the initials of the dude.
No, it's the initials of the president and Allison Mack.
Yes,
It's their initials.
Yeah.
God damn.
Where's
Yeah.
let me find a photo of it and I'll put it
Hey,
in.
if you're gonna fucking first off, if you're gonna have a secret organization, don't brand your members. Bunch of people with the same fucking brand is gonna bring attention to your fucking secret organization, but don't make the brand your fucking initials.
But the brand is on the hip, right below the underwear line.
So, like, the thing that any lover would see instantly.
Right. But I mean, if it's secret and nobody talks about it, like, if one person, like, if you're
Motherfucker, you get to the third chick with the same fucking mark on her side, you're suspicious.
Well, when would you ever see it? Unless you're, like, gangbanging all the chicks that
These
belong
are
to the
fucking
couple.
Hollywood chicks. Any fucking celebrity, fucking George Clooney could have fucking found these chicks. He could have been like, wow, you know, I've seen that mark a couple times now. I'm gonna ask somebody about it. Fucking George Clooney could have uncovered this.
Yeah, why? Come on,
didn't.
George. You fucking get off your ass. So yeah, they were held down and branded, and that was videotaped too as blackmail, so that they didn't talk about anything that went on. And
Wait,
yeah, apparently,
can you really blackmail somebody with a video of you forcefully branding them? I feel like that's not exactly leverage.
Yeah. Screen share that, bro, if you can.
I am screen sharing. Schmeckle can pop me up if he wants me to, but we have the brand right here, the symbol, but it's really KR, which is Keith Rainier. It's his initials, and then if you flip it on its side, you get the AM for Allison Mack.
And
Allison Mack apparently designed it for to have her initials in there.
Allison Mack is actually apparently the one who convinced Rainier to take his secret company and start this sex cult. Like, Allison Mack is the one that fucking started this sex cult. It's fucking crazy. And Kristen Green was part of it and shit. Fucking
yeah, Allison Mack was the Smallville actress, right?
Yes. Chloe from Smallville.
Yes. It seems a little weird that you'd have this super genius with his cult, and then he's teamed up with just some actress, some blonde chick from a Superman TV show.
Yeah. Well, this guy Rainier, I mean, he's smooth, dude. Like, apparently, you know, he's one of those dudes. He's charismatic as all hell. When you're talking to him, you feel like, I guess this is what people describe as like he knows everything about you. He, you know, just from interacting with you. Because this guy's so fucking smart and he's so charismatic that he'll talk to you for like 2 minutes and know like what kind of person you are, like how to, you know, like he can
read people. He can read people.
He gives you fucking Stockholm syndrome in a conversation.
He's got a ton. Like, I mean, this guy's got doctorates. This guy's got like 2 PhDs in psychology. He's got 1 in math. He's got, I mean, I'd have to find the list, but this guy has a bunch of degrees. Like 6 of them. I mean, the dude is fucking smart as hell. It's scary.
And it is fucking scary because, I mean, Jimmy Savile, clearly a fucking very intelligent man, gets away with all this shit. This guy, fucking very intelligent man. Oh, what the fuck is that Tesla guy, Musk, doing? What the fuck was Hawking up to before his death? Well, he was a special situation. He probably didn't have much.
He was probably sitting here like this.
Oh, he was laying pipe everywhere, and I mean that literally, baby.
What the fuck are these other super geniuses getting away with? Jeff fucking Bezos. What's his wife know? Why is he paying her off so much? That's what this fucking divorce is about. She got tired of it. That's why she's getting half his shit. He doesn't want to argue in case she says something.
So the guy Rainier, he wrote a book. And guess who wrote the opening to the book?
Jimmy Savile.
The Dalai fucking Lama.
Really?
Yeah. And he's put on, I think, more than one sponsored visits to New York for the Dalai Lama. And the Dalai Lama has come for like this event that this guy Rainier has put on for him. So he's buddy with the Dalai Lama too. And what was it? Lama Tenzin Dongden, the personal emissary.
Whoa, no, say that again. Say it again. Lama. And say it in the correct accent.
Tenzin Dongden.
There you go.
Personal emissary for peace for the Dalai Lama. He's the one. He said, "Okay, we'll meet." He arranged the appearance with the Dalai Lama, and he got arrested for corruption. That turned Latino.
So which Dalai Lama are we talking? That was paying him visits, like the
aren't they all the same person? Really?
I think they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Whichever one was alive in 2009.
Yes.
Okay, got to. The current guy.
Have you ever heard of
a
any
weird
of this
fucking
stuff?
Dude?
Alex?
No,
Bear?
There.
What?
You ever heard of this? The Nexium shit?
No, it's the first time I've heard about it. It's quite interesting.
You've seen Smallville, right?
I've not seen Smallville, no.
Oh,
Lucky
well.
man.
I had a friend who was like a massive fan of it, but I was just like, nah, not for me. Not my kind of show to watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of I mean, it was on WB, but yeah, that's when it was really getting WB-ish.
What?
That makes sense.
You know, when you use... Robert knows what I'm talking about. We use WB as a term to describe a style of show. And that's the, like, teeny bopper So, you know,
Okay, I
you
get where you're going.
Dawson's Creek,
right.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was the big issue with shows like Smallville and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they would
good
WB
concept.
Superman.
Say that again.
They WB'd Superman.
Exactly.
And then they WB'd the Flash, and they they turned these. Yeah, it totally Dawson's Creeked up that shit.
Yeah, there's a way to do things without making it a teen drama. Dawson's Creek's the only one I can think of. It's the only name of a teen drama I can think of.
You know what always bothered me about that show, and this is a little technical thing, is in like all the Superman movies, if somebody's falling off a building, or if Superman has to, save, like he's saving Lois Lane from falling off a building, and he goes to catch her, and he catches her in her arms to stop her, or he flies down and grabs her. That nothing. I mean, even if every time he saves somebody from an oncoming car, he'll stop the car or something like that. But in the show, in Smallville, when he saves somebody from an oncoming car, he doesn't stop the car. He saves a person by grabbing them and moving them out of the way.
Yeah, every bit as fast as the speed the fucking car was moving.
Exactly. That would be like a fucking man-sized bullet hitting them, and that person would fucking explode. I was like,
you just got hit by a fucking cannonball.
You got hit by a Superman. That's even fucking worse.
Well, no, it's one of the things that that I liked about Spider-Man, right? Like the whole Gwen Stacy death thing.
Oh,
Spider-Man caused that, right? Like he caught her with the web, and because she was falling, it snapped her neck.
And she cracked it too. She was just far enough to crack her head on the pavement too.
Yeah, but the big thing there was that it was his mistake that killed her, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, realistically, if Superman fucking swiped you up that fast, you'd be dead real quick. Same with the Flash or any of that shit.
Mm-hmm. They did it in the X-Men movies with not Quicksilver. Yeah, just Quicksilver with Magneto's kid. Yeah. Where he has to put his hand on the back of their neck so they don't get whiplash.
Still probably break their back. As their legs flew backwards and folded in half.
No, that's the thing. You're still catching them at ridiculous speeds, right? Like even if we assume it's not going to fuck your body up, your powers keep you safe. Just the speed that they're moving forward is going to force everything internal backwards.
Yeah, it's like slamming your heart into a fucking brick wall.
Exactly. You would, without a doubt, be very dead.
It's like your eyeballs are in the back of your head.
Yeah, Psycho it is Quicksilver. I couldn't remember if it was Quicksilver or fuck, I can't even remember the other name.
The Flash?
Yeah. That's the only other fast guy I can think of off the top of my head.
You disappoint me, Robert.
I'm sick. Give me a break. I got the brain farts.
So anyway, continuing with this this Nexium thing.
Well, I mean, there's not much left to tell. In 2018, the dude got arrested. He got charged with sex trafficking. Yeah, let's see. I have the list here. That's not it. Here. The dude got charged with sex trafficking conspiracy, and conspiracy to commit forced labor. Jesus. He was arrested in Mexico. That's cool. But
Mexican police, you have to assume Mexican prison's not very fun.
Right. On April 20th, 4/20, 2018, Allison Mack was arrested and indicted on similar charges. According to prosecutors, after she recruited women into first Nexium and then DOS, it's that's the cult. Nexium's the company, DOS was the cult. Allison Mack coerced them into engaging in sexual activity with Rainier and performing menial tasks for which she was allegedly paid. Mack was alleged to be second in command of Nexium after Rainier. On April 24th, Max was released on a $5 million bond pending trial. and she's on house arrest with her parents in California. Dude, she got her parents into the cult, dude.
She what?
Yeah, she got. Well, actually, okay, I'll take that back. I don't know if she got him into the cult, but she got her parents taking his classes. So they were at least.
So she was at least trying to get
I
them
don't
in.
think they had gotten to the the naked picture branding stage.
At the
Probably
point
not.
where your
That'd be
daughter's
like, hey,
asking
Mom,
you to
Dad,
get
I got
branded
Like,
for her club.
okay, Mom, Dad, you have to strip down so we can get leverage. So we can blackmail you.
Like, this is for your
No,
own
1 second,
good.
Mom. I just need to take some naked pictures, you know, to hold them over your head if you say anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a good daughter.
Yeah, that's that's a little far for most people, I think. I mean, sex cult in general, but if you've gone that far, you'd think at least getting your family involved would be a line.
Right. I might go back and rewatch Smallville with a whole different mindset on the character of Chloe.
Yeah, actually, I bet you there are a couple lines in there that are probably a little darker in hindsight.
She's running a secret sex cult in the high school. Superman doesn't even know about it.
It's almost like a what was her name? Jessie from Saved by the Bell. It's almost that kind of situation where you have like a TV character that's
so
like the
innocent and
character.
Sweet, and then all the next thing you see him in is some crazy sexualized fucking debacle that's like front page news.
Like Allison Mack's character in Smallville was like the goody two shoes friend that always did the right thing and shit. Like his moral, like she was Clark Kent's moral compass, and then, boom, sex cult.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We're used to seeing actors as the characters they portray, right? Or at least the public face they put on when they're doing interviews, shit like that.
Right.
And a lot of the times when we find out that they're involved in this dark shit, it is particularly jarring, right? Like with Allison Mack, or even with Jimmy Savile, with how he was
Savile
respected. Savile,
you uncultured swine.
With how he was Savile, whatever. I'm not fucking British.
You're Canadian, though. You're like British light.
Oh, don't even. Fuck you.
Dude. Wow, that's even
too
worse.
Far.
Freaking.
You're the natty light of Brits.
But no, it is jarring with people like this because of how we see them, right?
Yeah.
R. Kelly, it's not really jarring at all. Like, did anyone not expect that he was tied up in some weird shit?
I didn't even pay attention to that shit because I was so unsurprised.
Chris Brown smacking Rihanna around.
Oh wow! You're fucking shocked, right?
Yeah.
It's not a big surprise when you see shit like this, and it's not a black thing.
And you know,
it's not a black thing before.
The Pee Wee Herman thing was a big deal when it happened. That shocked a lot of people.
It's because the act is so removed from the character that they're known for. Like, I'm like Kevin Spacey. If the shit about Kevin Spacey is true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, he kind of seems like
he's like, I don't see him as a innocent character.
No, did you see
Rogers,
the?
On the other hand, that would be a surprise.
Kenny Rogers.
No, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I'd be shocked if either Rogers got caught up in something like that.
Right? Because
fucking Bill Cosby.
Wholesome
Bill fucking Cosby. Yeah, another one that
nobody
was
saw
like,
that
what
shit.
the fuck?
Right? Fuck.
But I mean, now that we list all the names, it has become a definite issue that we do need to fix. There's way too much rape going on. God damn.
No, because I would say
in Hollywood,
four people. Well, I guess one of them was a sex cult, which has over 10,000 members, by the way, in Canada and Mexico and the United States.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can look up. They probably have a recruitment center near you, Schmeckle.
Nah, it sounds like you have to start at the bottom. I don't want to go that route.
In more ways than one, right?
But no, with this R. Kelly shit, I don't think it surprised anybody. Not only because he'd been caught up in shit before, like there was he married a 15-year-old. There was the thing with the video of him pissing on a 15-year-old. But I mean the scope of it. There are, and again, a lot of them are allegations. They're not proven. But there are allegations of a sex cult, of him intentionally giving people STDs. Apparently, there were people in the music industry that were well aware of it going on and kind of hushed it up, right?
I would imagine.
There was a big documentary on it recently, Surviving R. Kelly. It was a 6-part thing.
That's the title of it? That's amazing.
That's what it's called, Surviving R. Kelly.
Surviving R. Kelly, my ass. Every single one of those chicks wanted his dick so fucking bad because he's a millionaire and famous, and like his whole persona is partying and fucking. So that's why.
If you're following R. Kelly around, you're probably the type of person who wants to fuck R. Kelly because that's
right. I mean,
his
like,
fan base, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is the ages of a lot of these girls, right? I mean, I don't care how much you wanted to fuck.
I don't mean
to
15,
dismiss
then. That is a big problem there. I didn't mean to like.
Yeah. All those 15-year-olds wanted to fuck him, so fuck them.
Like, you know. Yeah,
the fucking scope of it. Like, we already knew he was a pervert, right?
Yeah,
we had video evidence that he was.
But also, you know what? Like, here's the thing. I know technically it's illegal at 15. Here's my viewpoint on it, though. I mean, do you really? Dave Chappelle literally had a joke about this. It's like when I was 15.
You don't get to say Dave Chappelle jokes unless you do it in the voice.
Yeah. You know, you knew what was going on. Like, this 15-year-old isn't like, I mean, the only way she was getting coerced was the lure of the fame and the money. That was the only coercion. And it's like, I mean, God, I know it's illegal, but I condemn him for it, but not as much as if it was.
You don't get a butt on 15-year-old.
15's in that gray area where they're like, they know what they're fucking doing.
If they know what they're doing, it's still fucking illegal. Yeah, and R. Kelly should fucking know better.
So smoking weed. Look, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it wasn't consensual. I'm saying it's statutory. And it's fucking, it's statutory rape, right? It's like,
but there ain't much difference between an 11-month 15-year-old and a 1-month 16-year-old. You know, ain't much difference.
No, there's not. I also think you shouldn't be fucking 16-year-olds.
I don't either. I'm not condoning what he
I was
did.
like, no, I don't think there's much difference between that.
Doing it to a 15-year-old is like.
But you know, there is quite a difference between an 11-month 15-year-old and a 1-month 18-year-old.
Yeah, pretty big.
Go there. It's like, why don't you go there?
Look, I'm condemning it. But if it's legal at 16, and she wasn't just 14, I see a little gray area there. If she's like real close to 16 and 16 is illegal, I'm saying it's not as bad as if she was fucking 8. That's all I'm fucking saying.
No, it's not as bad as if she was 8. I will agree.
We can all agree on that, Mark.
But that doesn't require. I disagree with him pissing on a 15-year-old, but.
Yeah, there should not be a but.
Like, it sounds like it's putting you in a bad light. I'm just saying, bro.
Schmeckle, Robert, Mark, I'm going to go. But thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate that.
Probably should at this point, Bear.
Yeah. It's a bit late for me. I'm hungry. I want to go to bed. So thank you very much for having me on, guys, and enjoy your live stream.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
good one, man.
There's like I have a Patreon that I can't get canceled, so I'm gonna bounce out of this.
I'll see you later, gents. Bye.
Have a good one, man.
Bye.
So we would like to point out for the audience that Mark is not okay with fucking children.
Thank you. I want to make that very clear.
He does not think it's okay what R. Kelly did.
No.
He just thinks that there's a difference between a 15-year-old.
Doing that to a 15-year-old is not quite as bad as doing that to an 8-year-old. And I can agree with that point.
Yes, he took the longer route to get there.
Who knows what I'm saying? A 15-year-old knows what they're about. At least, you know, they know
he held that fucking look for way too long after that.
R. Kelly should know what he's about.
Yeah.
That's the thing. R. Kelly does know what he's about, and it's children.
Coming 2019.
I just think it's so weird too. Like R. Kelly literally has like 100 or 1,000 fucking girls every concert he does, like just lining up to get the dick. Why do you got to go 15?
That's exactly the question, Mark. And it does not end with "and not 16."
Right? But if you're gonna do anything, at least make it legal. At least go 16.
I don't even know where he was when he did this. Was 16 legal there? No, I thought in a lot of the states it was 18. Yeah,
I don't think in any state
R. Kelly's not British.
Mark,
really?
Mark, apparently your ship wheel up behind your bed is looking kind of rapey.
You're right. It's staring right at my ass.
He's got some secret sex cult in the bottom of the boat. That's what he brands on their asses.
Oh, now everyone's checking out the room, Mark. This is why you don't go on camera, dude.
It's a room with a bed and a fucking wheel on the wall and a goddamn clock. Like, I mean, there's nothing in here.
You moved in like a week ago and you already had time to put up a big ass ship wheel.
Right? I'm renting a room. Like, it's very generic.
God damn, Mark, you should stop talking for the rest of the night.
I should what?
You talking for the rest of the night.
Okay, now I'm looking at this. Apparently he made a song admitting to some of this shit. It's called I Admit. It's called I Admit. Okay, no, he doesn't actually have any criminal admissions in there, but the title and the chorus go, "I admit it, I did it." Well, which sounds like an admission.
He could be talking about anything.
Well, it says that in the song he denies allegations of domestic violence and pedophilia.
We got wait. Video.
God damn, in I Admit, Kelly denies allegations of domestic violence and pedophilia, asserting that they are matters of opinion.
Yeah, I hit her. That's not domestic violence, in my opinion. Yeah, I touched her, but that's not.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find the lyrics to this.
That's retarded.
Yeah, because I'd love to see how he tries to spin pedophilia as a matter of opinion.
I want to know who thinks it's a good idea to deny like pedophilia allegations through song.
Yeah, I mean, probably just deny them regularly, right?
It's like, how do you respond to charges?
Danny DeVito did that shit in fucking. Danny DeVito made a "I'm Not a Pedophile" song, and It's Always Sunny.
How do you respond to charges of pedophilia? Buy my album.
Can somebody drop a beat?
Go in there. I make a statement in track number 7.
Buy my album.
Yeah, you got to wonder what was going through his head instead of just denying the allegations like a regular person, going, "Hey, This is a song.
So you can get my denial of these accusations on iTunes and Amazon. And
I mean, it's almost as bad as when OJ put out his book. If I Did It.
Yeah, that shit was insane.
Yeah, there are some things that are
The
just bad
balls.
ideas off the
The
bat.
fucking balls. The balls on the dude. Spankus is cracking me up in the chat, though. My new single, I Didn't Fiddle That Diddle, comes out in 2020.
Now, Ani's pointing out, yes, R. Kelly married Aaliyah, who's another musician, when she was, Ani says 14. I had thought it was 15. But yeah, they had a secret, yes, still bad. Both children.
You know,
Mark.
You think she was getting a little too old for him? You think that's why she
had a
didn't she have a plane crash? Didn't she have a plane crash?
What's that?
Didn't Aaliyah have a plane crash? Didn't she die in a plane crash? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody?
Thinking of someone else.
Yeah, they had a secret wedding, hidden away from everyone, and he picked up a lot of bad back then. It was kind of the first sign that he was fucked up. Yes, she was 15 years old. They had a secret wedding ceremony. Where was it? Oh yeah, and they both denied that the marriage happened and that they'd ever gone beyond friendship, despite the fact that there were marriage records, because they keep records of official things like that.
Right. Actually, maybe she was the one.
Is this the same Aaliyah that was in the fucking vampire movie, the sequel to Interview with the Vampire? The Vampire Lestat? Wasn't she in the Vampire Lestat? Or Queen of the Damned, that's what it was. Queen of the Damned.
She was in Romeo Must Die. Remember with Jet Li?
No, not at all.
Robert, I'm pointing at you.
I remember Romeo Must Die, but I don't remember her.
Jet Li.
In it.
But it was like the black gang versus the Chinese gang. And yeah, it was kind of dumb. But
okay,
yeah,
here's the fucking line.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah,
that's her. She did die. She did die. And what I'm saying is she was married to R. Kelly. What I'm wondering is, was she getting a little too old for him? Was that plane crash an accident? Or was that death an accident? Now
he trade her in for something younger. Just mess with the fucking plane. I don't think quite that far gone. He's a pedophile, not a murderer.
Okay,
but,
so
here's the fucking line here.
Apparently the pilot that was flying her plane falsified his FAA license in order to get...
God, there's already enough for a fucking conspiracy there. Fake license.
There was cocaine and alcohol.
R. Kelly did it.
I'm back.
Cocaine and alcohol in it. That's one way to fly.
One of the guys that died in her plane crash was named Eric Foreman.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I assume some people have to be named that. It's two pretty common names, right? But I found the fucking line in this song, I admit. It goes, I admit I'm a freak, used to go to strip clubs every week, but who these niggas trying to say I am? Man, I'm loud and I put that on the chief. I admit I fuck with all the ladies, that's both older and young ladies, but tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit. That's crazy. You may have your opinions, entitled to your opinions, but really am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion?
Is it an opinion that she was 15?
Some people don't measure by the
consent. No, neither of those things are opinions, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, you did those things. Those things happened. Yes. You did them. That's not an opinion. You admitted you did them. seconds ago in the song.
It's like you might have a different opinion of what underage is, but then we have the law's opinion, which is the opinion that matters.
That's the one that matters.
Yeah.
Guys, I got a trivia question for you that you can't Google. Let's see if anyone in the chat knows this too. What is the title of Alaya's first album? No Googling.
No. How the fuck?
What is the title?
Oh, but it's got to be something like Just a
He
Kid.
peed
or
on
something
me?
like that.
All right, let's see if
Peed
the
on
chat
me?
knows it.
Yeah,
let's move on, but let's see if the chat can. Someone in the chat's going to Google it like a cheater. But
yeah, this guy. Not only did he try to.
Oh,
to prove
I
his
looked it up.
innocence in a
Oh, that's
song.
fucking bad. That looking back, that's fucking bad. That's bad. Say it, Mark. You held us in suspense long
her
enough.
first album is called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Yeah.
She was 14. Okay, so she signed with R. Kelly at the age of 12 and put out that album at the age of 14.
Where Schmeckle just walking away. He's just gone. He just walked away.
Debuted at number at 24 on the top 100 Billboard charts.
That's just
Oh, it went 2 times platinum. Fuck.
Schmeckle, where the fuck did you go?
Oh. Oh my god.
All right, what else?
Yeah, Schmeckle, what do you think?
Are you fucking kidding me? Age ain't nothing
All
but a
the
number.
little puzzle pieces are falling into place.
He was her fucking, or she was his fucking protege. He was like her mentor.
Yeah.
From fucking 14. This guy was already planting these thoughts in her head.
Dude, she signed with him. He became her mentor at the age of 12. So they were hanging out like every day, working since she was 12.
Yeah, this motherfucker is not only a pedophile. He's clearly a fucking child groomer. I mean, there's no way you go from meet this girl at 12, marry her at 15, to all this other pedophile shit without you have been trying to groom that chick.
Yeah.
And did they stay married the whole time she was until she died?
No, she filed for. Remember, despite claiming that the marriage didn't happen, she filed for. Or she filed to have the marriage records expunged. So actually, I don't know if that. Okay, yeah, it says here under Illinois state law they couldn't enter into the marriage without parental consent. So I guess it never actually got official. It was annulled. It was annulled by a Michigan judge and then declared never to have been valid. I don't know how the fucking law works, but no, they didn't stay married.
The marriage certificate was revealed that listed the couple married on August 31st, 1994. Alaya was 15 at the time, but was listed as 18 on the marriage certificate. So the marriage was annulled because
the records
right
have been
about the age.
falsified.
Yeah. It was annulled by her parents in February of 1995. And the pair always denied marriage allegations.
Yeah, you can't annul a marriage that didn't happen.
Well,
I could go to the courthouse right now, pick some random chick from town and be like, yeah, I want to annul my marriage to her. And they're going to laugh at me, right? They're going to be like, no, you're not married to the chick. There's nothing to annul. If they were able to get an annulment, they were able to get a marriage.
Okay. First off, Robert, you're right. She was the chick that was in Queen of the Damned.
I know I'm right.
Yeah. And in that documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, A former backup dancer claimed to have witnessed R. Kelly having sex with Aaliyah on a tour bus, and that he, I guess, was worried that he got her pregnant, and she was 14 at the time. That's an allegation that has been made by a former backup dancer.
That would make everything so much worse. But like,
right,
the fact that the marriage happens means that they were either fucking or they planned to, right? I think we can all agree you don't marry a chick you don't intend to fuck, right?
Yeah, I'm betting they consummated at the very latest.
Did you just say you don't marry a chick you don't intend to fuck?
Yeah, you don't marry a chick.
You don't fuck a chick you don't intend to marry?
No. Who the fuck gave you that idea?
What kind of fucking normal, respectful upbringing did you have, Mark? This is the real world.
I thought we'd all be in agreement there. I didn't think that would be a point of contention.
Right? No, I mean, I just thought you unintentionally got it backwards, but I'm wrong.
No, I full out mean you do not marry a chick unless you intend to fuck her, right? Hopefully, by the time you get to marriage, you're already fucking. But
this isn't 1954, Mark.
I mean,
I know what we meant.
Nowadays, it's very rare to get married to someone without having fun.
It is, and I think that's one of the ways we as a society have improved. I think waiting until marriage was a dumb concept. It
was a
nobody knowing how sex worked until after marriage.
Now.
Well, no, that's why people got married so early back then. Because they weren't able to nut otherwise.
No, that's exactly right. That's why you got married at 14.
Yeah, that's exactly why you still see the
boning people.
Exactly. Fucking wait until marriage leads to R. Kelly.
Get married, so fucking marry me off, mom and dad, because I want to get to fucking.
Yeah, so I mean, that's about it on her. After she died, I guess she had, done some filming in a few other people's videos. So after she died, she kept she would be on tracks that got released after she had died that she was collabing with other people and shit. And I mean, not much else to say other than R. Kelly I guess she did a hook for Chris Brown. I guess before Chris Brown could do a hook to her.
It actually doesn't surprise me the chick that married R. Kelly also did work with Chris Brown.
Right.
But shortly after that, we have the child porn allegations, which of course was the video of him pissing on an underage girl. Which, before Mark says anything, I would like to point out to the audience is not an okay thing to do. We're all in agreement there, right?
Yes.
We're just gonna get that out of the way. We're all in agreement on that, right? Don't piss on kids.
No pissing on kids.
Yeah, you can piss on consenting adults if you'd like, but don't piss on children.
I was at a high school party once when I was in high school, obviously, but
this was last Tuesday.
Her little brother, he was like 2 years old. I'm sitting there in a circle of friends talking, and I feel something warm and wet on the back of my leg, and I turn around, this 2-year-old's pissing on the back of my leg. I would have that fucking kid.
I would have fucking punted him like baby Ike out through the goddamn window.
See, it's funny when a kid pisses on an adult, unless you're that adult. But it's a lot less funny when you switch the roles. It gets very dark when you swap the roles.
When you switch around, it's your double standard is showing, Schmeckle.
I know. Sometimes you just got to admit you have a double standard. But
seriously, that sounds like an argument Amos Yee would make. Like, no, if it's okay for a kid to piss on an adult, why isn't it okay for an adult to piss on a kid? You have two different standards. They're not, we don't have equality. We don't have equality, guys.
Amos Yee's fucking argument would be, If you think that pissing a natural act is fucking sexual, the problem's with you. But no, he ended up he obviously claimed that it wasn't him in the video. And then later was indicted on 21 counts of child porn. So the courts disagreed.
Ooh, ouch.
So they decided to search his house. They found 12 images of an underage girl on a digital camera, wrapped in a towel, stuffed in a duffel bag.
What? What?
It was well hidden. He was a digital camera wrapped in a towel, shoved in a duffel bag. He was hiding this shit.
Pictures were of a girl wrapped in
No.
towels.
The camera was hidden in a duffel. I mean, I hope. Am I reading this right?
It's like, where's the comma? Where's the comma? That's
okay. Yes, it was the camera, not the girl that was in the duffel bag. And then more pictures of him with this girl, doing things that you're not supposed to do with children. So he got arrested again, but there was something about lack of probable cause for the Warrens, so they had to drop the charges.
Oh, that despicable motherfucker got away with it.
Yeah, so he was found not guilty of all 14 charges there. You would figure the supposed video of him pissing on a child would be probable cause in something like that, right?
Right.
You would think if there's one video of him pissing on a child, that would be enough to go search for more, right?
I would call that probable cause.
I mean, I have a feeling he probably got off because they couldn't prove it was him in the first video.
Oh my god!
It was probably a shot from behind or a bad camera or something like that, right?
The cover photo for her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, is Aliyah on this side of the screen, and it's showing a street, so it's going back in a diagonal. And in the background, Fuzzy is R. Kelly staring at Aliyah.
No.
Like, creepily. That's the photo on the cover of this TV.
That right there is fucking probable cause for the search.
Let's see.
I'd give out a warrant for
coffee.
that.
I'll be right back.
I'd give out a warrant for that.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Here, I gotta find that photo here. Check it out. I'll screen share it.
Well, it'll still only pop up on the stream when you're talking because Schmeckle has to pop you up for you to be up permanently. And that lazy fucker's getting coffee.
Okay, well, I'm talking now, so you can see. Oh. Yep, so you got Aliyah, and then
R. Kelly, creeper in the background.
In the background, all fuzzy, and he's on the phone too. He's like, "Hey, man, I just found this bitch, dude. Like, it's just so weird." I mean, I didn't pay attention to it. I just realized that her first album was called this, but now with the context and the title of it and the picture, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How can you get, like, you can't get more obvious.
Yeah, that
just
should be that CD should be named hashtag I admit it.
Hashtag I admit it. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Poisoning the Well shirt, Robert, that I got when I went to visit Pat and Sophane. That was awesome.
I saw that. Mm-hmm. And Annie in the chat says that every time you say her name wrong, R. Kelly wins.
When do I say your name wrong?
All the time, I guess.
It's kind of hard to say Annie wrong.
No, not Annie's name.
Aaliyah. Do I say Aliyah?
I don't know. I think so.
I don't know what I was saying. I don't care.
Is it Aaliyah? It's not Aliyah?
It's Aaliyah.
Oh, that's two names tonight. Two names we fucked up on.
Yeah. Jimmy Savile and Elia.
R. Kelly wins, Mark.
The only thing we got right was Nexium, and that's spelled Nxevm.
So we're probably saying that wrong.
Right all fucking night.
We are illiterate.
Yep.
Next week we need to do two things. We need to pick easier names, and no pedophiles next week. Next week we cover a nice non-pedophile.
1 week where we don't do a show on pedophiles. I would.
We had
we've said that a couple times.
You know what?
Out.
We've done 2 shows that weren't supposed to be pedophiles, but when we looked into them,
it turns out they fuck kids.
That's just
although it's kind of nice knowing that it's not just now. Even in the past, there were too many of these cunts.
Right.
That's not as comforting as it sounded in my head before I said it. There's just always been too many of them.
I got a good topic for next week. I won't spit it out right here.
We were already thinking of a topic for next week, which does not include, as far as we know, any pedophiles.
Yeah, we can't promise anything yet. We haven't looked into it.
I'll find a way
as we know.
I'm gonna fucking 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that shit.
Well, nothing's come out yet.
Yeah, it's Hollywood. I don't think you're gonna need all 6 degrees.
I know. I think you could do. I think now he's been in enough shit that you could do like 4 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he's probably prolific enough. How much do you want to bet he's the next Me Too guy? Should we start a pool on this? See,
Kevin
see
Bacon,
the next rapist.
I think Kevin Bacon's been like happily married for a couple decades, actually.
It's all a cover.
If guilt by association is a thing, how is Kevin Bacon still squeaky clean?
No,
he's no less than 6 degrees away from a pedophile at any time.
I think the next big rapist will be fucking Vince Neil. I'm just gonna guess Vince Neil.
Vince Neil, you're going Vince Neil?
I'm going Vince Neil.
Isn't that like the wrestler, like the head of the wrestling?
No, he's the singer from Motley Crue. He killed a guy once. So
oh yeah.
Why not some rape?
I'm gonna go.
I was thinking Vince McMahon.
Gallagher.
Oh, yeah, I could see Gallagher.
No, but see, like too old. Like anything he would have done.
All these big people's accusations are fucking 30, 40 years old, man.
Right. Suppose so.
You think Cosby had an accusation from fucking last month?
This might be a little bit obvious, but I'm gonna say DMX.
Oh, going the black route. I knew there was something
I
didn't know.
Eminem.
Eminem. I actually see where you're going. Eminem. What was some of the people he associates with
coming out about Eminem, dude?
I can see a lot of shit coming out about Eminem.
I'll stick with Eminem. Eminem's gonna get some fucked up shit coming out about him soon.
All right, we have Fakis says Bugs Bunny is next, or Mr. Rogers. We got any other predictions in the chat? Of who's
you guys
next?
leave Mr. Rogers alone. The man is a saint.
Motherfucker, you should have seen some of the things he's done.
Wasn't he in the
there
army?
Are kids who will never be the same.
Killed people.
Is that a real thing? Was he actually in the military?
I don't know.
I thought that was a rumor.
You know, I think pretty soon Jake Paul's going to get in a scandal. Not really for anything he does purposefully, but he's going to hurt a kid very soon, like physically. Like
I've never actually seen what.
I can just
see
him.
It's a rumor.
It's a kid or some shit.
It is a rumor. He has never been in the armed forces, but there's a rumor he was a Marine sniper who racked up a record number of confirmed kills.
Who?
Mr. Rogers. And that he wore his sweater to hide his Born to Kill tattoos.
That
Would be pretty badass. His fucking sleeve slips one day.
That takes him from like my highest estimation to like even more.
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately, it's false. It's
right. But there is a story of him getting his car stolen, and he reported it. And then the newspaper wrote a story about it. And the day after that story came out, the car was returned to him with a note on the windshield saying, "We're sorry. If we knew it was yours, we never would have taken it."
We stole Mr. Rogers' car? What the fuck?
Hey, you gotta figure the thieves got home and they find that out. They felt like shit all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They loved that man. They grew up with that man.
Like, go give Mr. Rogers back his car. Right?
No, I don't care if you see cops on the way. You bring that fucking car back.
Put the bumper back on, get them tires back on, and drive it back to Mr. Rogers.
And leave a handwritten note to show you're sincere.
Right.
Well, no, it's there are very few people who would get that reaction, right? But I can completely see that happening. It's like you wouldn't steal Betty White's car, even if she wasn't.
Oh, by the way, yesterday.
Oh, I'm aware.
Very special day, or 2 days ago. Very special day. What was it?
Hey, it was Betty White's birthday. She became 79, and she's still beautiful.
Yeah.
But no, it's there are a couple people who you could
some
see
degenerates
having
rob
that
the cradle. Our degenerate robs the grave.
Do you think Betty White's popularity has anything to do with similar to Kevin Bacon's popularity, and it's all in the name?
Yeah, it could be. You know, people like Kevin Bacon because Bacon's awesome. People like Betty White because you almost tricked me into saying something.
you almost tricked me into racism, Mark.
Well, we would have been kicked off Patreon.
Maybe that's why Barry White's so popular too.
Yeah. You had a little white and suddenly black man. Stop it, Mark.
Stop making me be racist.
Traps for you, Schmeckle.
It's not cool.
Traps for you.
Yeah, no. There are a couple people though where, you would actually feel bad if you wronged them, despite the fact that you've never fucking met these guys. Mr. Rogers, Betty White. For some people, probably Obama.
Okay, we did get a couple more predictions in the chat. Jolly Rogers, Bilgewater says they're going to dig up Bernie Mac and put him on trial. And Andy says
I could see Bernie Mac. I could see Bernie Mac being a fucking a little rapey.
And he says that
I don't know what it is about him, but I could see it.
Which is kind of mean. Hot take, Mark says.
Fakis says, "What if Kevin Bacon is Betty White?" And Jolly Rogers says, "Then Schmeckle is gay as fuck." I'll take that. I'll take that.
Is it really gay if it's Kevin Bacon?
Wait, no, then that means that Betty White did Full Frontal in Wild Things.
And see, now I need to see that movie.
Now you
is
can go
Kevin
faster.
Bacon in Wild Things?
Yeah, hell yeah, he is.
Are you confusing Kevin Bacon with what's her name? Denise Richards? Are you confusing Kevin Bacon with Denise Richards?
No, I'm not. Denise Richards is in Wild Things, and Kevin Bacon is also, shocker, in Wild Things. And
there's more than one.
He goes Full Frontal in Wild Things.
I don't remember Kevin Bacon or Kevin Bacon Dick in that movie.
You get Kevin Bacon Dick in that movie.
I don't remember it.
You must have blocked it out of your memory. It was so just embarrassing.
I must have. I didn't even remember the movie, and I fucking remember everything about movies.
Well,
how can you not remember a Full Frontal Kevin Bacon?
Well, maybe I blocked it out. I didn't purposefully do it. I'm gonna go watch that movie just to see some Kevin Bacon Dick now.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, and then halfway through the movie, you'll remember that you're watching the movie just to see cock. Bag it.
Yeah, but it's Kevin Bacon's cock.
That's true. Fakis says, "Now I want to remake a Footloose with Betty White." I would watch the shit out of that movie.
That would be amazing.
That would be so good.
That's great.
That's the type of fucking gender swapped movie we need. Replace
Oh, Meadow
any
was better than
comedy,
Wild Thing.
any type of movie with a fucking dude and make it Betty White. Just replace any character with Betty White.
Scarface.
Jesus Christ, I would love that.
To watch Scarface with Betty White. Fuck yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
And you know what?
Where she plays Vin Diesel.
Oh shit.
I'd see her more as The Rock's character.
I want to see her as the lead from Snatch. Brad Pitt's character.
Oh, I thought you were. Yeah. I was like, is there a lead in Snatch?
Fight Club.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of all over the place. There wasn't really a lead, but Brad, the character everyone remembers. Yeah, Fight Club. But who did she play?
There you go. Fucking Rocky.
Rocky 2.
I want to see her fight Ivan Drago.
I want to see her fight Dolph Lundgren. That would be fucking box Dolph Lundgren and knock him the fuck out. That would be fucking amazing. Or have her play Dolph Lundgren and kill fucking Billy D. Williams in the ring.
Chat. If you could replace Betty White with any character
Or not Billy D. Williams,
any movie,
fucking...
what would it be and who would it be? What would it be and who would it be?
Huh.
I'm talking to the wrong
with what's that movie?
50 Shades of Grey.
Schmeckle would go see that like 18 times in the theater.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey. That works. There's nudity in that, right?
Okay. But then he'd get arrested for whipping his dick out.
That's true. I would pull a Pee-wee.
Boom, callback. You gotta love that. Silence of the Lambs instead of Hannibal Lecter. So
I could actually see her doing that.
That would be fucking. I bet she could play.
That movie would be unironically good.
It would be the most terrifying performance we've ever.
No, I want to see Betty White as the fucking serial killer. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. That's the role she was born to play. How about Seven?
I don't know if I've seen that.
What's in the box?
With the wife's head at the end. Yeah.
Take your fucking pick. Yeah, Betty White. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Oh fuck! I forgot about it.
Yes.
Oh yes, replace Michael Jordan.
How about like the whole 9 yards, or like have her be a quarterback?
I'd kind of like to see her as Austin Powers.
What's that one with fucking the arm wrestling movie?
Over the Top.
Over the Top.
There was an arm wrestling movie?
With Stallone, dude. You haven't seen Over the Top?
No.
You poor bastard. You fucking poor Canadian bastard.
They managed to make a movie and get Stallone to sign on for it about arm wrestling.
Oh,
fuck yeah.
Debbie does Dallas.
Mel Gibson, Betty White and Mad Max.
See, I could see her doing that well, too.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
And now we know how old Fakist is.
Fakist is clearly a little younger than you guys.
Whatever, you said Space Jam. That's a fucking old movie.
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski would be good. I think the Big Lebowski would be good. But what about how about
I want her to replace Walter though, so she could sit there and be like, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie."
John Wick.
Top Gun. Nice.
John Wick would be better than Top Gun, I think.
I'd kind of like to see her as the Ghost Rider.
7 Samurai. The Boondock Saints.
Which one would she play, though?
Her and B. Arthur.
Together. Her and B.
I can just see, dude, somebody needs to make a short clip of that. Of like B. Arthur and fucking Betty White behind someone's head with guns, dressed up in suits, kind of like Pulp Fiction suits, but saying the fucking prayer.
Oh shit! Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Betty White in Pulp Fiction.
Betty White, B. Arthur,
and Marcellus Wallace. I'm gonna go medieval on his ass. You hear that, motherfucker?
Ooh, Psycho's got a good one. Apocalypse Now.
Oh.
Fuck, she'd be a great villain for Brando.
Right?
Or Dennis Hopper. That could work. Because you only see Brando. I mean, Brando is in it for a very short time of the movie. He's not in it very, very much at all. Dennis Hopper would be a better choice, or Sheen.
How about Friday the 13th?
I could see that. She'd be
I
terrifying,
would love to see Betty White in some sort of horror role. That would be awesome. With her as a fucking killer.
It would have to be
Sweet old
something.
lady killer.
She'd have to be something like either a sweet old lady or like I forget who said it, like Hannibal. She'd have to either be a sweet old lady or just fucking sociopathic.
But right now I'm picturing a scene in my head where she like
Superman 2
invites someone into her house to give them like hot chocolate or something, and puts like poison.
Oh fuck, Misery. Betty White in Misery.
Oh
being a
shit,
sweet old lady, and he starts dying. And she's like,
no, Betty White in Misery would be a remake.
Like,
I would fucking watch.
That would be perfect.
Yeah,
she's still the perfect person for that role.
All, like threatening and shit like that. I can see that doing very well. I would go see that shit.
No, yeah. To be fair, I see anything she's in. But I mean, would you not watch her in fucking Misery?
I would watch the shit out of that.
That'd be fucking perfect.
Literally watch the shit out of that. Betty White in the room is Tommy Wiseau.
I don't think she could do it. She knows how to act. No,
we need you to forget everything you've ever learned.
Exactly. Yeah, act like you've never acted before.
Right.
And I don't mean that act like act your heart out. I mean act like this is day one.
How about Saw?
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? That'd be fucking great. I just want to see Betty White as some sort of sadistic, like some sweet sadistic character.
The bad guy from the Human Centipede.
Right. But then beyond that, I want to see her do something like Rocky 4.
Yeah, really any type of sports movie.
How about Kung Fu Hustle? Wouldn't it be awesome to see Betty White do some crazy kung fu shit, even if it's CG?
I don't think she needs CG. I'm sure she knows that shit.
Right.
Oh yeah, she can pull that off. She's only 79.
But what was that Jackie Chan movie? Drunken Master.
Cloverfield as the monster and Sleepaway Camp. Oh man, that'd be some.
All right.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
All right, we're gonna start shutting down at this point.
Ooh, Mark, what about Sharknado?
Dude, I'm surprised she's not in that already.
Yeah, that's true. I
can't believe there are multiple of those movies.
Okay, Schmeckle, I'm telling you, and I'm telling everyone in the chat, all right? Those movies are shitty, but they're made to be shitty. They're like hilariously shitty, all right? And they're only okay until you get to the third one, okay? I'm looking at you guys right now. I'm telling you. The third Sharknado, the last 20 minutes of that movie is the greatest thing I've ever seen in cinema. My jaw was on. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It will blow your mind. You have no clue. Like, if you try to describe the final scene in that movie in one sentence, people would lock you away in an insane asylum. Because that sentence would have nothing to do with reality. It is fantastic.
Did you watch this movie on acid?
No, dude, it is that fucking. It really is that fucking crazy.
Right.
It's like the most insane shit anybody's put to film.
I didn't give a fuck about those movies until Robert started begging me to watch up to the third one, because you get the gist and the storyline watching the first and the second one, and the second one, in my opinion, is better than the first one because that's when they really accept, like, they take on the fact that it's a shitty movie and turn that into like its selling point. But then the third one has the greatest scene I've ever seen in any movie ever. It blew my mind.
The first time I saw it, my jaw dropped going, I can't, and I literally said, I can't believe what I'm fucking watching. I can't believe that somebody put this on film and that we are lucky enough to experience this. It's like, it's the movie equivalent. I've said this before. So, you know that shower curtain of like a bear riding a T-Rex shooting
That's my shower curtain.
At a mecha pterodactyl or something. It's the movie equivalent of that. Just
yeah. No, my shower curtain is a bear smoking a cigar, firing an AK-47, riding a surfboard. And that is the gist of the final scene of Sharknado 3. It is so amazing. I didn't believe it. But then as I'm watching it, like Robert said, my jaw hit the fucking floor. I couldn't believe that somebody put this on film and made it into a fucking movie. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I can't spoil it any more than that, but geez, go watch Sharknado 3 just for the final 20 minutes. The final 20 minutes of that movie makes the first 6 hours that I watched to get there worth it. I'd watch it again over and over.
That's a pretty good. You're doing the hard sell on this.
Dude,
6 hours for 20 minutes of good content, and it's worth it.
2 hours.
There's no other scene in cinematic history that I've seen that had me going as crazy as that scene had me going. I was jumping up and down, literally. I was screaming at the fucking screen. I've never gotten that worked up over any scene in any movie. And I'm not the only one. Every person I've talked to that has seen the third one agrees with me. It is the most insane shit you will ever see. You won't believe it. It's so amazing.
I don't know if anything could ever top it in my life, honestly. It'd have to be some wacky ass shit that comes out.
Hey, if I ever make a movie, remind me to come to this stream and just clip out what you're saying right now for my movie.
Yeah,
you know,
as the trailer.
Exactly. It was just fucking amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing. I was crying. For 30 seconds, I thought I was dead. I spoke with God. But then the movie dragged me back in because that's the hell that is Sharknado 3. It's hell.
Go watch Sharknado 3, guys.
Okay, we have a bunch of new Betty White editions. Betty White is the Hulk. We have Ghost Shark, and me and Annie watch Ghost Shark, and that movie's amazing.
As all of the Avengers. And it's Red Shoe Diaries, Psycho, not Red Letter Diaries. Come on, did you grow up with Showtime?
Betty White as the Asian mother in Joy Luck Club. Betty White as the plane in Secondhand Lions.
How about the driver in Driving Miss Daisy?
Just have her replace Savile.
Or in Roots. Have Betty White in Roots. That's
Your
cool.
name is Open.
I'd kind of like to see Betty White and B. Arthur as Bill and Ted.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Betty White would be Ted. Betty White would be
I was thinking Bill.
Yeah, Betty White would be Bill, and I think B. Arthur.
No, Betty White would be Keanu. Are you kidding me?
No, Betty White has the fro like Bill did.
Exactly.
B. Arthur has that old lady haircut too, man. In fact, B.
B.
Arthur's
Arthur
haircut
had the
is
straight
more
hair,
like-
though.
Yeah, she had the straight hair, dude. That you could throw it out in wild directions.
B. Arthur's haircut is more like Bill's haircut anyway. It goes up and then it comes down in the back.
No, you're
B.
you're
Arthur's
crazy.
got the big.
B. Arthur's hair was straight though, like Keanu's.
Mark.
It went up and then back. No, I'm gonna call it, dude. B.
You're
Arthur
on-
is Bill and Betty White is Ted. Who agrees
Not a
with
fucking
me?
chance.
Betty White is Ted.
Betty White is Bill. Betty White and B. Arthur, Cheech and Chong. All of their movies. Just remake them from the start.
Schmeckle, look at this B. Arthur. Look at this B. Arthur. That's fucking. Hang on. That's fucking B. Look at that.
There we go.
That's Ted hair.
That is definitely Ted hair.
As opposed to Betty White,
who has curly hair, much like Bill.
That's a Bill
There
S.
you go.
Preston Esquire if I've ever fucking seen one.
Look, I don't care. I still say, fuck the haircut, the personality.
Mark,
Betty White is Ted.
During this stream, you tried a weird thing involving 15-year-olds and that, and this is still the most wrong you've been.
This is the most wrong I've been?
This is worse than the 15-year-old thing.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
All right, we're gonna shut down. We got another show.
No, Mark's been on a wrong streak. He just made a bet with me that I know he's gonna lose about.
Oh
the next
no!
Avengers
Dude,
movie.
yeah, I'll tell you after this, dude. I'm so gonna win this bet, dude. Robert's fucked. Robert's fucked.
The easiest money I ever made.
$100. Robert's fucked.
Easiest money I ever made.
All right, we will fill you in on the results of that bet next week. We have a stream in about an hour where Linus is going to be saying some things. Until then, fuck off.